Yeah, so it's officially on recording, and welcome to tonight's session, which is solutions evaluation. So, like I was saying, solutions evaluation comes after the requirement analysis, where we can use root cause analysis or gap analysis. Yeah, but with that, once we carry out the analysis, then we can figure out the kind of solution, but it doesn't end there. Even if you know that you are going to implement a particular solution, you still need to do a thorough evaluation of that solution and the alternative solutions in the market, close rivals, to make sure you select the best solution for your company based on some set factors, criteria for evaluation. So why we do a solutions evaluation is that you might have a budget. You might see a very beautiful solution, but it's out of budget. So that's why you have to analyze solution that is within your budget. The best solution, you might see a solution that is very beautiful, but it's not within your time frame. You might see a very beautiful solution, and yeah, to get it implemented can take up to 1 year. Solutions like SAP, implementing them, you will need to exercise patience. When it is implemented very well, it works very well. But it takes time to get implemented. Your company might not have that kind of patience. They might just give you 6 months, want this to be done within 6 months. And you find out that you don't have time. So these are all the factors we're looking at. There are some solutions that we hardly find experts to manage the solutions, like SAP. SAP is a very beautiful solution. A lot of companies like big enterprise, they go for it, but it's very complex, but it solves complex problems. So getting to see developers who are very good at configuration management might take time. So many companies uses it. At times, they outsource it to big consulting firms. So these are a lot of things you need to put into consideration. Yes. So that's why we try to carry out thorough evaluation to make sure not just diving into any CRM because it's CRM. We need CRM that is within our budget. We need a CRM that is within our time range. We need a CRM that can give us the exact thing we're looking for. You know, CRM, each of the CRMs is based on vendors. They have their strengths and they have their weaknesses. If a CRM have a weakness in the area we prioritize, we might not go for that particular CRM. For instance, we are prioritizing lead management, and we find out that HubSpot is not a strong candidate when it comes to lead management. We're not going for it. Even if HubSpot is the strongest, is the best when it comes to marketing, we might not go for it because our prioritization is lead management. So these are things you need to consider before you jump in. We have some CRM that is very good, but during your downtime, maybe you have technical challenges and you try to contact the vendors. Most of the vendors do support their clients. Yeah. Some vendors, you try to contact them, you might not be able to contact them so easily. So some CRM, immediately you have issue, just put it on the technical support, they respond to you immediately. Some of them give you the opportunity to even subscribe to their technical support. So maybe within 1 year, 2 years, you are getting free technical support from them. Not free, but based on your subscription, minimum subscription, you'll be getting all the technical support. Some of them can be helping you to update your system. Some of them do not do all this. So it's based on you to know the strength of your company, your IT unit. All these are things you need to put into consideration when you start going for a CRM system. Some CRM can be very, very intuitive. But when it comes to data communication, trying to share your CRM system with other enterprise application, you find it very difficult. This is the reason why so many companies goes for a Microsoft application, because Microsoft is very robust within their integration system. You can integrate Microsoft with almost with every other third-party application, and it's not difficult to integrate. They made it in such a way that it's just a small hook and is integrated. So they make it in such a way that just generate API key, you got it integrated. Some people, you need to spend months building a custom logic or a custom code in order to integrate, which it takes a lot of time and costs money because you need to pay developers. So these are the reasons you need to pay attention when selecting a solution. Knowing that you are going for CRM is not just enough for you to dive into, because CRM is a world of its own. If you are going for ERP, ERP is a world of its own. It's just like, let's say, you want to buy electronics, and you decided to go to the market to buy electronics. You go to Alaba market. If you do not know what you are looking for and you enter Alaba market, you just tell them, I want to buy a smartphone, a touch screen phone. I want to use it for work. They will convince you and you buy rubbish. Yes, you must know the exact thing, specification. If it's iPhone, you must know the iPhone you are looking for. There's a lot of Chinese iPhone. You must know the specification and you must know the exact thing to distinguish. If possible, you must have researched the shop you are going for, and just forget all the noises as you are going. They are pulling your clothes. Hey, come here, all these boys hustling. They'll be dragging you. Just ignore them. Be looking for the number of shop you are looking for. Until you get to that place, then you make sure you buy from that place. If not, they are going to deceive you. You will go home and you start crying. You are going to Balogun markets to buy clothes. Once you go there, Balogun markets will swallow you if you don't know what you are looking for. The same thing, all this market. So it's the same thing with all these vendors. If you go to CRM system, if you go there, the vendors, it's another world. So this is the reason why companies are relying on your expertise as a business analyst to make sure that they don't make mistakes. That's the reason they are paying you all this ridiculous amount of money. It's not just implementation, but getting the right deal for them. Just a moment. I'm trying to share my screen. Just give me a moment. Mm, okay. So from our notes, solutions evaluation in business analysis is a critical step where the proposed solution is assessed and analyzed to determine the feasibility, effectiveness, and alignment with the organizational goals and objectives, just like I said, alignment with organizational goal. What is the organizational goal? What is the budget? You know, what is the timeline? These are their goals. It must be done within this period of time. It need to be within this budget, and it is going to be within this model, within this specific deliverable. It must be able to solve this problem. It must be able to solve uh, lead management problem. It need to solve our marketing campaign problem. It must be able to solve, this must have specific goal and objective. Everything you are doing must align with that organizational goal and objectives. That is the main purpose of carrying out evaluation. So if you are planning, these are key aspects you need to consider when carrying out solutions evaluation. The key aspects will have criteria definition and prioritization. Define evaluation criteria based on organizational objectives, stakeholder requirement, technical constraint, budget consideration, and other relevant factors, such as prioritize these criteria to emphasize the most important aspects of it. Like I mentioned earlier, you say budget consideration, technical constraints. What are those things? Technical constraints. Do we have enough technical manpower to handle it during the implementation and after the implementation? What are the stakeholders' key requirements? What problem does the stakeholders want to solve with this, improving their lead management so that they can be able to have more lead conversion. Once you have more lead conversion, you have more customers, you have more sales, you have more profits. Yeah. So you must be able to understand this. So the criteria and prioritization must be based on these key attributes. Then you have other things to think of. Assessments of alternatives. Evaluate and compare multiple solutions alternative, considering factors such as functionalities, cost, risk, timeline, scalability, flexibility, and alignment with the business. Yeah, you might get some you want, but it's still very important that you compare it with some of the ones in the market to make sure you are getting the best deal. So once you have all the CRM that have all the features you are looking for, you might have 3 CRM that have exact features you are looking for. Then you must find something to start differentiating them, like risk, timeline, scalability, flexibility. These are the things you need to consider. It's very important. After that, we carry out analysis and scoring. When you are trying to analyze based on all these factors and criteria, you must have a scoring point. That scoring point is what is going to help you to take decision. For instance, if you are considering CRM system between Microsoft, Salesforce, HubSpot, and other vendors, you might use a scale of 1 to 5, or you might use a scale of 1 to 10. When you come to cost, then you weight them based on the cost. You can say this one is more cost effective, and you give that one 4.5 over 5. This one is less cost effective. You can give the one that is less cost effective 2 over 5. That's how you use scoring factors to make your work outstanding and very clear, so that people will see the criteria you use for selection. Yeah, there is no, we don't, in business, and like I said, we don't like so much grammar. We want our work to look very sharp, and everything mainly using bullet points and diagrams. So trying to come and start narrating long stories, use scoring techniques. This one, you rate this one over 5, over 4, over. With that, it's going to make the work so easy. Then there's what we call cost-benefit analysis. You equally need to adopt cost and benefit analysis. Yeah, we're going to treat cost-benefit analysis as a full topic of its own. You know, it's something we need to treat as a full topic, cost-benefit analysis. Yeah, even risk assessment, we equally need to treat risk assessment as a full topic. So cost benefit analysis analyze the cost associated with each solution, including implementation costs, maintenance costs, and other relevant expenses. Evaluate the potential benefits and expected return on investment the solution need to bring on the table. So you need to put the 2 variables on a kind of a scale to weigh it. This is the cost, this is the benefit. If the cost is higher than the benefit, then you have to drop it. You must be looking for return on investment. Every solution you are bringing target return on investment where the cost should be lower than the benefit. If the benefit is small compared to the cost, this is what we call is not profitable. Yeah, call it is not profitable. It must be in a situation where the benefit outweighs the cost. So in some cases, we go on implementing some solutions where you see that the yes, it can be looking so beautiful, but looking at the money or the level of investment capital, you find out that yeah, it's not profitable, it's not viable. So looking at the viability of the projects, you must always implement a viable project for your organization. So this is where, as a matter of fact, in some companies, their method of selecting investment or solutions, any investment, anything they want to put their money in, no matter how small, they must try to understand the viability of the project or the viability of the investment through cost-benefit analysis. Is a very simple and a very effective way of selecting an investment. It's not only in project management, or even investment banking, asset management, all these big companies, they all use these techniques. Yeah, we imported it into project management, but if we go to finance industry, they use it so much in investment appraisal. So cost benefit analysis, that's why it's important we are going to treat it as a full topic, because we as a project, as a business analyst, this is the tool you are going to be using every time you want to demonstrate to the stakeholders what you are bringing on table. You must always show them that this solution is bringing this on table. We can implement this solution with 50,000 naira. That is it. Yeah. Okay. Risk assessment, you must evaluate the risk associated with implementation of each solution, considering factors such as technical risk, operational risk, compliance risk, and potential impact on stakeholders, assessing the likelihood, severity of each risk. If the risk is very high, then we need to drop that solution. A solution who solves a problem at the moment, but so many of these solutions, they can solve your problem at the tactical level. We call it tactical level because tactical means immediately. It's solving the problem you are talking about immediately. But so many of those solutions that solve problem at tactical level might not be able to solve the solution at the strategic level. Strategic level means the long-term consideration, long-term objectives. a lot of tactical problems do resurface after solving it. So that's why we have what we call root cause analysis to make sure that we don't solve problem at tactical level. So what this means, always assess the solution that is not just a tactical solution. It's a solution that can sustain for a long time. Even if the company is growing, you don't need to look for another solution. That's what we mean by scalability. A solution that can contrast. If the company is growing, the solution can grow with the company. If the solution is the company contrasting, the solution can contrast. Some solution, if the company wants to grow, you find out the solution will break. Yeah, so that's why you need to look at such like technical risk and operational risk. And some solution that are highly compliant. We see all the enterprise application we're implementing has one thing to do with client data management. Some solutions are not good at data management in terms of data regulations, data protections. If any solution, no matter how it's solving the problem and it doesn't comply with the Data Regulation Act, then you have to drop it, because that kind of solution can put you into trouble. Yeah. So these are things we need to look at very well, detailed. Some solutions, once you want to integrate them with other third parties, you find out that you've made a very big mistake. You find out that you cannot even integrate it with any of other third-party application. That is one thing, because in today's business, it has a lot to do with data communication. Some companies have not been doing well because almost all their data are in silos. They are in separate databases, and they cannot be shared. So when a system does not have that kind of feature for data sharing, then that kind of application is not a good application. Seamless, sharing of information. You see the way we share information. I can easily share this note, this lesson note. This lesson note is on Google, Google Documents, Google Doc. But I can easily share this document to you guys on WhatsApp. That is integration. Some of these data, if you can integrate them with ERP system, there is no need for manual copying. You copy from CRM to, no, you don't need to do that kind of copy. That's manual handling. All you need to do is, once a customer is created in CRM system, automatically the CRM system will copy it to ERP system and create an account on the ERP system. That is reducing duplication. The person who will be copying it and sending it or to it via email, where they will start uploading it, you don't need all those things. We are past that stage. So these are a lot of risks you need to consider, because I've witnessed where it's very difficult with trying to share sensitive data across within the department. So you have to start downloading it. We don't do that again. So these are things you need to consider as a business analyst. It's your duty. Nobody, organization, they are not relying on anybody to do this for them. So if you are making this kind of mistakes, call it gross mistake. Then stakeholder feedback and validation. Gather feedback from stakeholders, including end users, executives, and subject matter experts regarding their preference, concern, and expectation rather than, expectation related to each solution. So you don't take decision in isolation. They must be carried along with your decision while you are sourcing. That's why after carrying out a solutions evaluation, it's important you share the report with the stakeholders for validation, senior management, before anything. So these are the reason, or you can wait till when you finish your evaluation, then you write it as a report, as a business case that you share with the management before decision can be taken. So you don't take decisions in isolation. Yeah, and before you go out looking for a solution, you must have done an in-depth requirement gathering and analysis. Yes, which you've already treated. Decision making. Present the evaluation results to decision makers, providing clear comparison on the alternatives and their alignment with the defined criteria. Assist in decision-making process by highlighting the strengths and weaknesses of each solution. So while writing reports, you need to make decision-making easy for them. You don't just write a thesis for them to go and read and then understand it and then try to understand. No, everything must be highly easy. Kind of in your report must be in an executive summary, that we call executive summary. Every report you are writing must carry executive summary, where you summarize the report and state the weaknesses, merit and demerit, advantages and disadvantages of every solution. As a matter of fact, we are not going to recommend one solution. We must recommend up to 3 to 4 solutions for them to choose one. You can't just say, we're bringing Microsoft CRM system. That is the best. No. You must bring Microsoft. You must bring like 2 other or 3 alternatives. Compare them. You must show why Microsoft is the best. And you must show if they don't like Microsoft, then what is the alternative? You state why that one should be the second. So give them opportunity to be flexible in decision making. When you just presenting the decision makers with one solution, you already concluded there is no flexibility in decision making, and it's not good. So you must make sure that decision making is so easy and they have that flexibility of, yes, we have alternatives. So it's important you are after your solutions evaluation, when you are writing reports, you must make decision making easy. It shouldn't be a struggle. Recommendation and documentation. Recommend the most suitable solution based on evaluation, including rationale for recommendation. Document the evaluation process, finding, recommendation, and supporting information. So everything you documented must have supporting evidences, links, if possible, references, how you derive any, if you say that is you are rating Microsoft 4.5 over 5 in a scale of 4.5 over 5. You don't just rate, you must have evidence of your rating and finding. Yes, so you must be in that way. If you don't do that, then your work is not authoritative. Mind you, you are a consultant. So these are the key aspects you need to look into, why key factors you need to look into while trying to go into your solutions evaluation. If you want to do that, this is a step-by-step guide that will help you make sure you carry out a thorough and detailed evaluation. Almost everything here is what I've explained, but it's more simplified here to help us. So, yeah. So I've created a template that shows what it looks like when you carry out evaluation, how your evaluation should look like. So this template is going to help us when we're planning to carry out evaluation. So you see, I used a table. I didn't use text or big languages. I used figures, which makes it easier for understanding. So looking at here, the criteria for evaluation, you must state the criteria you are using for evaluation. And then you must state the point, the weighted point you are going to use, or a scale you are going to use for your evaluation in another column. Criteria in one column, scale in another column. Then all the vendors you want to evaluate, capture them in different columns. Like you can see here, vendor A, Microsoft, this is the column. Vendor B, Soho, this is the column. And vendor C, Salesforce. Now, you see here, user-friendly is the first criteria. How user-friendly is the CRM system or the ERP system you want to recommend for the organization? Then you need to rate it in a scale of 1 to 5. Based on your analysis or your evaluation. So looking at here, you are rating Microsoft 4 over 5. You see, Microsoft is 4 based on user friendly. Then you have Soho CRM. You are rating Soho CRM 4 over 2. So based on your rating, we already seen the results. This is, then you come again, you are not going to use one criteria for your evaluation. Like you see here, we'll gather so many criteria for this evaluation. You see scalability, ability to scale. Then you see Microsoft, we give Microsoft 3.5. And we give Soho 4/5. And then we give Salesforce 4.2. Looking at this, if we want to take a decision based on these two criteria, it is very clear that Salesforce is the recommended solution, followed by Soho, and then followed by Microsoft. Microsoft is a 7.5/10. Soho is 8.2/10, and Salesforce is 8.7/10, making it the preferred choice. So if we go down more, the game might change. But based on the already what we've done here, like for instance, let's say this is the first half of this evaluation. Based on first half or first round or second round of the rating or the evaluation, you can see that Salesforce is already leading the table. And that's how your solutions evaluation should look like when you want to present it before the stakeholders. So you see here we have different criteria for evaluation. We didn't capture the price. You see the pricing, integration option, cost, data security, implementation timeline, timing and documentation. So when you rate based on all these criteria, you come down here, you sum all this total score, then then with this total score, you should be able to come up with a strong candidate. And that is it. Your evaluation become very solid, very professional, and easy to understand, easy to read. Like I said, we don't like too many texts writing a paragraph. We don't like paragraphs in business analysis. We want figures, we want facts, we want diagram. So, a case study of ERP solutions evaluation for a Eagle startup remittance company. The Eagle startup remittance company requires ERP solution to streamline operation, enhance financial reporting, and ensure regulatory compliance. This evaluation compares Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central, Sage X3, and SAP S/4HANA Cloud. Based on core business need, scalability, and cost effectiveness. The business requirements, key business requirement for PayGo, financial management, multi-currency support, transaction, reconciliation, regulation, and compliance. Business size scalability, SME, and ability to scale with business growth. That is, this summary is a business objective. Integration capability, connectivity with payment processor, banking system, and compliance platform. Data security and compliance, adherence to financial regulations such as GDPR, PCI, DSS, CBN guidelines. Reporting and analytics, real-time financial insights, and fraud detection. So this is the business requirement. Whatever solution you are trying to select for this company, if you are trying to select Microsoft for them or Sage for them or SAP for them, you must take into consideration which of them is more close aligned to this business need. Whichever one is more close aligned will be the one to be selected. And if you want to do that, we can do that using some tools. We have a tool here or a platform that can help us in doing this rating. We call it, there are so many of them, but the most viable and cheaper at this level, you can get Gartner report for free. You know, so if you are doing a more in-depth analysis, they might require you to subscribe to their platform. So as a business analyst, you must know about this platform called Gartner. A lot of Gartner reports is a world kind of consultant. Almost all the decision making in business industry comes from Gartner reports. So we are borrowing leap from Gartner. So yeah. So you see here, you see Microsoft Dynamics 365 based on what Gartner is saying, SAP based on what Gartner is saying, and so Sage and SAP based on what Gartner is saying. So we're looking at overall rating based on Gartner. You can see that Gartner is rating Microsoft 4.2, and Gartner is rating Sage X3 based on our need for, so this is 4.2, Microsoft 4.2, Sage is 4.3, and SAP is 4.2. So looking at Gartner, if you are going to take our decision using the authority Gartner, then we will definitely go for Sage X3. And Sage is a very beautiful ERP application. As a matter of fact, Sage is the first ERP application I've used as a graduate. The first time I started work for Mobitel, that was in Victoria Land. Yeah, that's why I did my youth service. That's how I came into, I don't even know about any. So we started, a company is using Sage. And at some point, as this company want to grow, then we wanted to migrate from Sage to SAP. So the company is within the migration when I left the company. So that is it. So ERP solution comparison, Gartner Peer Insights. So you see, if we do a thorough rating, you find out that, yeah, that SAP here is now taking a lead based on simplified need. Most of the things on a general rating, SAP win Gartner on general rating, but based on what we need for PayEgo, Microsoft is better because of this. This is the way how we come about this. Based on business size, our business size is very small. So because of the business size, this Dynamics 365, we call it Dynamics 365 Business Central. If you come to Microsoft, they have two types of ERPs. They have Business Central for small and small scale business, which is very good. Then they have another one called Finance and Control, which is for larger enterprise. And that is the one that can measure with Sage. If you want that particular one, then it means that Sage can win Microsoft on that. But on a small scale business, Sage is tailored for a larger, you see, high, is suitable for large scale business. And we are just a startup, a small startup. So because of that, Microsoft is better for us. But on a general note, Sage is better. But when you are looking at tailoring it to our need, because we are small scale business, this one is the best for us. And SAP is for very high enterprise grade scalability. So because of that, it's not suitable for our business need. We cannot afford it at this moment. It's costlier for us. This too is very costly for us. We can't afford it based on our business size. So, but this one is very suitable and we can afford it. So that's it. So business side. Cloud availability. So based on cloud availability, this is fully cloud-based, this SAP, and we'll give it 5 rating because it's fully. But this, yes, is hybrid. It's on-premise and cloud as well. So because of cloud availability, this one is hybrid. So we give this one 4. Then limited cloud features for Sage. We'll give it 3/5. Then we come to integration. Then Microsoft is the overall best when it comes. I've already said it, when it comes to integration, is overall. And because of the robustness of Microsoft in terms of integration, the ecosystem is second to none. So we give it 5. Then when we come to Sage, the integration is moderate. And when you come to SAP have got strong API and banking integrity, currency support. All of them tally here on currency support 444. Then when it comes to compliance, this is good. Microsoft is good based on security compliance. And then when it comes to compliance, SAP is the overall best. We'll give it 5, we'll give this 4. And then when it on the Sage scores 3. When it comes to compliance, security, compliance and security, then customization, we'll give it to Microsoft 5/5. Then customization, we'll give the and Sage is scoring 4. It has high customization with add-ons. Then when it comes to customization, here is a predefined enterprise. So you do not have that opportunity to tailor it or customize it so much. So because of that, Sage scores 3. It comes to user-friendly, Microsoft becomes the best in terms of user-friendliness. And it comes to cost effectiveness, because it's designed for small businesses. It's designed for small businesses. Every small business can afford it. So that is it. Affordable for SMEs. We give it 4. And then here, this is made, this particular application, this particular Sage is made for mid-range. So it's not easily affordable for small businesses. And this is very expensive. SAP is very expensive. You know, it's for big enterprise applications, so it's not even affordable. So looking at the total score based on our need, you see Microsoft now score 4.3. Sage score 3.4. And SAP score 3.8. And that's why we recommend or we select Microsoft. But if you look at here on the overall, Microsoft on the overall, based on scalable, big enterprise, on everything, the general overall rating, Sage is highly prioritized than all of them. But when we start tailoring it down to our need, specific need, then Microsoft started taking a lead. So that is what you have to look at your organizational need. Don't just go within the general rating. You might, this one might be bigger, might be best based on general rating, but when you start looking at specific need of your organization, you find out that that one everybody is talking about might not be the best because you cannot afford it. You know, if for big companies who can afford it, it might be the best. But because this one is for small companies, you see, Microsoft becomes the better alternative. So looking at this report, you see that it's very easy to understand. Very easy to understand. Looking at the way we use coloration makes it more. So like I said, we business analysts, we tend to use diagram visualization when we communicate, not using big grammars. A recommendation for PayGo: best fit Microsoft Dynamics Business Central. Why are we recommending Microsoft? Best suited for a startup. We are a startup. We want something we can afford at this moment. Yes, we know that Sage and SAP, they are very good, but we might not be able to afford them. So it's not fit for us. So number two, strong financial management capabilities, including multi-currency supported. Easy for integration with PayGo remittance platform and other banking APIs. Scalable enough at early growth. But the issue is that if we want to become large enterprise, which we don't see that, based on our business objective, we don't see ourselves being large enterprise. So trying to go and buy a large enterprise application at this moment is going to be a waste of resources until we get there. Strong security and compliance feature backed by Microsoft. Then alternative option, SAP S/4HANA Cloud for future growth. If PayGo scales into a large remittance provider, SAP S/4HANA Cloud offers enterprise level feature with building regulatory compliance and powerful integration. So conclusively, for PayGo's current startup phase, Microsoft Dynamics 365 is the best. So you see, this is a strong argument we presented why we should go for this instead of that. And it's equally important to back up our claim. We see here, most of our analysis, we didn't manufacture it. Most of our evaluation, we didn't manufacture it. We are not claiming to have monopoly of all the figures here. The link for Gartner is here for verifiable reasons. So see here, this is the link Gartner. So Gartner is very, very powerful. If you're analyzing for CRM, Gartner is here. This is for CRM. I put link for everyone. This is CRM and this is ERP. The one we just finished, this is the link for ERP. This is so if we're planning on getting CRM system, is selling Gartner. If we are planning on getting ERP system, Gartner will help you. If you are on IT, Gartner has the capacity to help you do your job. So all you need to do is go to Gartner, and because some of us might not really get the app, that's why I provide the direct link to Gartner. You go and read about Gartner, you know that Gartner is very good. So if, for instance, we are planning for a CRM, where I'm just making reference for CRM is to help you because your project is going to be on CRM system. So, and you can see we're crisscrossing between CRM and ERP so that you won't say you didn't hear anything about ERP as well. So by the time you finish, you must have had a good knowledge of CRM system and ERP system as an added advantage. So what is a CRM customer engagement center in Gartner? This is where we do all the analysis. They provide all the analysis from here. From product listing, for instance, we want the CRM system. Yeah. You see all the of them listing. They are listing all the CRMs. Yeah, all of them. So if you want to start analysis with Gartner, what the best thing is to do is select one. You can add, for comparison, or you can just select Microsoft. You choose one product here, then you can add others. So these products, if you want to understand what they are talking about, any product, instead of you going directly to Microsoft to start reading about Microsoft. Of course, if you go to Microsoft directly, go to their website, they are going to tell you all the good stories people are saying about them. They might not be able to tell you the bad, but this is a consulting company that is not biased. The analysis, their review is not biased. It has been tested and trusted. So they say it the way it is. So looking at it, they give you the overview of Microsoft. Overview about the company, the insights, top alternatives, and the review. Gartner gives you everything. So you see the insights, they talk about top alternatives. Top alternatives. Yeah. Top alternatives. So if you want to, this is customer service, not CRM though, customer service. There's a great difference between CRM and customer service label. CRM is a bit different from that. So well, let's analyze this. If you want to compare these with others, all you need to do is you click on compare. So when you click on compare, you should be able to, let's say, Agentforce, or let's just say Soho or Zendex, and we say compare. We say compare. We click here, we see compare here, we click. So it's going to, Gartner is going to present them side by side. So you see the strength of each of them. And from here, you see what Gartner is saying. You see Microsoft 4.4 and Zendesk total 4.4 and Zoho is 4.5. And if you want to go down based on details analysis, then we'll go down here. This one, they are not providing details analysis here. No, they're not. The detail analysis no longer. They've removed the detail analysis. So for you to get their detail analysis, I think you need to log in into their system. Yeah. You need to log into their system to get. But let's look at other lanes and see. Let's look at this. Ghana has limited. It used to be here free. Everything used to be here free, but now you need to log into Gartner before you can buy. The last time we use here is free. You just log in and everything is stated there free of charge, but it's not like they are limiting the access. But so many companies, they pay for subscription for Gartner for you to get their professional, their pro, this thing, so you can. Okay, you can see Gartner, they have removed their detailed, because I think they feel now they are giving a lot of things out for free, and they've limited it. So you need to sign in before you can get a result. Yeah, sign up for free accounts, which, yeah, I think is what is signing in for free account. But before, when I was using it, you don't need to sign in. Everything is at the front end free of charge. You don't need to sign up to get any detailed review. Every detail is free. So, but Dynamics 365 and other these things application, Gartner is always the best when you want to analyze us. So this high level is not enough for you to take decision. So the stake is now high. But before, when you log into here, it's going to break everything down for you, which is unbelievable. Let's look at it. Let me see if I can get detailed insights with you. Even at this, you cannot still get, you know. You see, everything you need to log in. You see, performance review. Yeah, review of insights. You need to join for free, sign up for free. And performance of Microdynamics Central. Yeah. So what it means, we need to have an account before. See here. It's logged. Read all 132 review. Let's see. The worst thing is that they require business email. So before you can do this, you need a business email to log in. So it means that you can only be a company. So you are working for a company. So it's a drastic change from Gartner. You need to log into with a company account, not even business, not personal account. Company account is required for you to sign up for free. So yeah. All right. No worries. Before you guys can start your internship, then we'll see if we can provide each of the group with custom company accounts in order to access that when you get to the board. Before, we don't need any login to get access to this. Is going to be free. Better than them. If you try to do solutions evaluation on your own, it's going to be very difficult because you have to go read up from different sources, trying to understand what the market is saying, which is a very big work. But Gartner simplifies everything for us, making it easier. Yeah, I've used it for a long time, and I'll be using it free of charge. Everything is All the information is here free. So anyway, just know that there is Gartner. Gartner is here to assist you, but you need to join free of charge with your company. So what it means, if you're working for a company, they are like, let's say Juliet at payego.com, you should be able to access it. That is company account. Or Benson at autonomouscommunity.com, you should be able to access it. But if you use Benson at gmail.com, then you might not be able to access it. Yeah, that's what it means. So it means that before you can access it, you must be a professional. You must have a job. You must be working in a company as a business analyst or somebody, not only business analyst. You must be working officially in an organization. Yeah. So I think this is where we're going to end it for tonight. Yeah. So when you guys start your internship and get to this stage, then you need to let me know so that I'll create for every group, I'll create one company customized account for every group so that I can use it to do some of this. Because equally, you are going to need that company account when you want to get something like Dynamics 365. Microsoft always have 1 month for you to test their application before you want to buy. Because of that, it's going to give us opportunity to explore, implement a Dynamics application free of charge without paying. So after 1 month and you like it, then you are now going to pay. So after 1 month, it's going to time you out. So if you like it, you pay and continue use it. If you don't pay, it means you don't like it. You won't have access. So that's, so within 1 month, you people should be able to use it to learn. And so once I provide one company account, customized account for every group, that group should be able to use it on Gartner and equally use it on Microsoft as well to explore. So that is what we are going to do. So any question, any question, any question? So, okay, Benson.
I want to. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes. Thank you for the class. I want to ask a question. I did some little research on LinkedIn to check what are the criterion needed for a post like a junior analyst. Most of them normally state like Excel, SL, SLL, something like that, that has to do with like programming, like data programming, like that. One of the skills that they normally highlight that they needed. So I'm
Junior,
kind of
junior analyst on what? Junior analyst on what?
business junior business analysis as a job description. So I went to check the criteria that they are looking for. They normally mention. I'm trying to get the right pronunciation now. Signed up for like is SQL. They used to ask for that, like his skills and Excel like that. So
That
I'm
is data
wondering.
analyst, not business analyst. You should be able to distinguish between business analyst and data analyst. What you are talking as is data analyst, not business analyst. You don't need all those SQL to become anything in business analysis. That is data analyst. If you're talking about data analyst, they're talking about Excel, talking about, yeah. But you should be able to distinguish between business analysis and data analysis.
Okay.
So this is business analysis. This is not data analysis.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
So you don't need, all you need is to process mapping. These are things you need. Your tools you need to is Visio. You need to Visio draw.io that will help you in drawing diagrams. Diagrams like process flow, process map, use case diagrams, wireframing, and the rest of them. So you don't need all those things. Yeah. Knowledge of Excel. Excel is a general office. Even a clerical officer should have a knowledge of Excel. So I'm not here to teach you Excel. You should have known how to use Excel as a general. Excel is just like Microsoft Word, general office. So, well, it's for business analysis. It's not you should have known how to use Excel before now. But in data analysis, when you need data, Excel in data analysis is in a not just general table. Or for data, you need to know how to use it to create pivot table, create a dashboard. So,
All right.
yeah.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
But that is on data analysis. Using Excel to create pivot table, dashboard is to analyze data, to understand data, you know, and you have to understand the difference between requirement analysis and data analysis. What we do in business analysis is requirement analysis. But in data analysis, we'll analyze data to understand the trend, the pattern, and things like that, insights inside the data. So these are things so many of us, well, maybe because some of us we are starting, but once we come in, you should be able to distinguish between business analysis and data analysis. And I've said it before, we have co-relationship. In most cases, data analysts, they give insight, they analyze data to understand what the data is saying. You might look at the data, you find out that all their customers are not happy. The sales are going down. You might want to understand why the sales are going down. Who is going to uncover why the sales is going down? That's what the data analyst analyze and tell you the direction of your business. Your business is growing or your business is shrinking. When you have that insight that there is no more sales in Lagos, people are no longer buying these goods in Lagos the way they used to buy it last year, meaning the business is shrinking in Lagos. That is a problem. It ends there. Data analyst is not going to tell you why there is this, why the sales is shrinking. They will pass the ball to business analyst. It's now the duty of the business analyst to go down to Oladipo Market in Lagos and start asking questions, meeting customers there, meeting vendors there, doing the research, gathering requirements, you know, to know why they. By the time they finish gathering their requirements, they analyze it, they should be able to tell you why the sales is really going down in Lagos. It might be your workers in Lagos, they don't attend to customers. It might be taking a long time to deliver product when customers order. It might be one problem or the other, you know. And with that, you know there is a problem. You already know there is a problem, but you don't know why. The data analysts have told you there is a problem through the data analysis. But the business analyst will go gather requirements and analyze their own requirements and tell you what is the specific problem. And they do solutions evaluation and tell you the exact solution you need to implement. They are going, if you approve it, then they will work in conjunction with project managers. They will design the solution and project manager will help in implementing the solution. And that is it. So you can see the relationship. So some people who are posting job on LinkedIn do not know what they are doing. That LinkedIn said this, you don't just jump LinkedIn say, no, some of them don't. Some of even people recruiting do not even understand what the company need. Yeah, some because they are HR. All the HR, they don't know everything they are doing. So I think.
Thank you, sir.
So you don't just say anything, it's a LinkedIn say, They will have a lot of people in LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an open platform where people can say anything they like. So you don't follow anything they say.
Right,
That's
sir.
why I have people to guide you. Any more questions? So yeah, with the next topic we're going to look at is cost benefit analysis, because it doesn't end there. By the time you select a specific solutions, you must equally show solid cost benefit analysis that show that this solution you have selected is going to bring profit. And this is how the benefit is bigger than the cost of implementation. So, but that is going to be next week. Like I said, tomorrow tomorrow is Friday, yeah. So this week ran very fast. Tomorrow being Friday, I'm going to have a webinar. So if you like, you can join, because I can see Chidera sharing the link in all our platform. If you want, if you have time, you can join. You can learn one or two things from the webinar. And yeah, so the only thing I owe is that before next week, over the weekend, or you should find yourself in one project group as a business analyst. So yeah, so look out for that. Once it's done, we are going to be communicated that you have joined a particular group, so that you should be able to accept and get yourself onboarded. So that is it, and good night.
Good night, sir.
Yeah.